Fake tough guys fail miserably when things get real. Have you ever met someone who talks about a big game but can't back it up when push comes to shove? We've all seen those tough guys who act like they're invincible, at least until reality hits them. Today we're getting into the world of epic fails, where these supposed badasses fail miserably when things get real. But before we get into things, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos like this. Let's get started. First up, we have a self-proclaimed Tai Chi Master. I mean, his moves are even awkward to watch. On the other hand, a fighter known as Mad Dog said some things about Tai Chi, and the master here decided to challenge him to a fight. Pretty big challenge there. When the fight's about to start, a crowd gathers all around. Cameras are rolling. There's a lot that Mr. Tai Chi had to prove. A lot of responsibility. We're not sure what he thought that things would go like when made this challenge against an experienced fighter, and his physique was a statement itself. But when the fight started, within seconds, the confrontation reached its climax. The Tai Chi Master's defeat's undeniable. He loses it from the get-go, taking all those punches. Could have stayed away from all this by simply not being a part. Next, we have our very own Aikido champ. We've seen him talking about the big game in this video. He goes on about how Aikido's better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He talks about neutralizing the target. But what happens when he has to face a Jiu-Jitsu fighter? The stage is set for a confrontation, for our Aikido Master to show what he's working with. As soon as they start fighting, the Aikido Master loses the stage, making efforts to save himself. It's almost embarrassing to watch. Looks like he's desperate to fight back, but our Jiu-Jitsu fighter literally picks him up on his shoulder. I mean, couldn't go any worse. Oh, but it did. He throws him on the ground, and before things escalate more, the Aikido Master gives up, saying, "I'm out." He had to quit because he was very clearly not neutralizing the target. This next one's interesting. We have an Aikido Master who can beat men without even having to touch them. You heard that right. A fight without touching them. And if you're thinking, how's this possible? The answer is, of course. To show that he's unbeatable, he even goes on to bet people $5,000 to beat him in a fight. And today, we're seeing the instance when someone decided to take on this challenge. That's our Aikido Master in black here. As soon as the fight started, the opponent subdued him pretty quickly. I mean, he did not hesitate in fighting. He throws in punches, kicks him, basically takes all the force out of him, and as you would expect, the master loses very quickly in the game. That has to be embarrassing, especially in front of all these people. Next up is this person. What name can we even give him? He's trying to provoke the guard out here. He keeps doing these weird dances, gestures, trying to provoke a fight. We're not even sure if there's a point to all this, but he's taking on a big challenge here. That guard looks like he'd squeeze the life out of him. It's some risk-taking. He's also covering his face here, which means either he doesn't want people to know who he is because of the weird dances, or he doesn't want the bouncers to know because he fears for his life. We can only guess, but both are pretty good contenders. In the end, we see him leaving without a fight, which was the best decision he made that night. Here we see a street fighter, the guy with blonde hair challenging the other person. He's aggressive, he's cocky, he claims that he can beat a Japanese guy in a suit. Pretty disrespectful. But more importantly, he just put too much faith in himself here. When the fight comes a few months later, let's see what happens. Our not-so-blonde guy here is up against the Japanese guy he's surely going to beat. That's what he thought. Throughout the fight, the other guy remains calm. He's smoothly tackling all of his attempts, doing more damage than our street fighter. He throws in punches, weakens him in the knee, quite literally. But he does all of that with a calm and composed face. That's a pro right there. The not-so-blonde guy's desperate, and that's now very clear on his face. Desperate and hurt. But understandably so, he had a lot to prove. And chances of him providing a lot were decreasing with every punch he took. And pretty soon he gives up, lying down in the ring. Should have thought about it when he challenged someone and underestimated him. Next, we have this kid here at the palace. Looks like his first time with all that entitlement and with the childish thing he pulled here. He decides to take a picture with one of the king's guards, and while posing, he starts showing gang signs. We all see the childish in this. The guard looks annoyed at first, who wouldn't be after an already long day of standing, and he decides to take all the gangness out of him. A sudden movement and all that cockiness goes right out. Served him right if you ask us. Same as the guy in this video. He decides that it seems like a good idea to go to the grocery store, start recording a video, and in the presence of others say that I will pee on the person behind me. Does not look like a good idea to us, but still he did that. And as soon as he turned, he found out why he shouldn't have done this. The guy standing behind gestures that he's coming at our prankster, and all the craziness left his body, along with the soul. It's what he deserved to annoy him in the middle of an already exhausting task. Here we have our two fighters preparing for a match to start. Let's call them Mr. Yellow and Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue here is telling us that he drove all the way down to kick the yellow guy's ass. Pretty determined. We got to appreciate that. He tells him that he looked him up and researched him before coming down here. Pretty scary, right? Let's see if he does keep his word. Spoiler alert, he will not. Pretty soon after the match starts, it becomes clear that he has no upper hand here. He takes in multiple punches, getting thrown here and there. Mr. Yellow here's not even giving him a chance to do any damage. Mr. Yellow now is the cocky one, but he showed us why he can be. It really is a one-sided match from the very start. We can all agree who kicked whose ass. This one is funny from the get-go of it. We have here this dude trying to be cool and tough by beeping at a girl's car for no apparent reason. We all know those people can't drive without the need to be aggressive ones. That's this dude right here. But he decides to be extra. He gets out of the car and goes to punch the girl's car and leaves. What did he hope to get out of this? We can't tell, but we can tell what he actually got, and this is the funny part. The girl's stepfather found him 2 days later and made him video call her to apologize. His face, he looks terrified. We can only imagine what her father did to him that led to this call. Let's take a look at this match, or something like it. This man thinks it'll be a good idea to challenge a Muay Thai fighter. With no expertise of his own, he got into the ring with the belief that he would win. Quite a level of self-confidence. Few minutes into the fight, we must have realized that the idea wasn't a good one, because we see it. It took him a few punches and a few kicks to give in. We could all see it coming. Makes you wonder why he didn't. Here we have a very cocky 18-year-old who went looking for some challenge. He wants to fight someone. I mean, where else will all that testosterone go? The gym owner decided to teach him a lesson and sent a 16-year-old to fight him. Now, obviously, he would have thought it true. As soon as the match started, he showed he had no respect for the kid. Calls him an ass. But as soon as we see that our 18-year-old has seen exactly why this kid was sent to face him, he had some moves. But he was a tough guy. He could beat a kid, or so he thought. Punches after punches, his toughness was now going down. He was completely done a few minutes into the fight. He ain't messing with kids now. And we saved the best for last. This cocky student called out his coach for a fight. That's a very high level of toughness that he showed, or was it stupidness? We'll see this in a minute. He starts out strong, confident position. Coach throws the first punch, but he looks like he can take it. Deep breaths. He takes his first attempt, but he misses, and the counterpunch sends him flying across the ring. He must have reconsidered his decision sitting there. That had to hurt. And there you have it, a front row seat to the world of fake tough guys. Today must have been a combination of laughs and cringe, and that was what we had in mind. But on a more serious note, it also showed us that it's important to keep it real. Not saying something's better than making claims and failing like this. Which one made you laugh the most? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep it real. Peace out.